The intersection of rows and column are called a cell. Undo editing. What is undo option? Undo option is nothing but is going to cancel the previous action performed. So what is a spreadsheet? Spreadsheet is an application software used for calculations. Dear students, welcome to Computer Science classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in Computer Science, Vidhyaashram PU College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Students, let us start our discussion with the chapter 16, that is spreadsheet. Now, the weightage of the chapter is 12 marks, and here 2 MCQ and 2 5 marks questions. So, total weightage of the chapter is 12 marks. It is an important chapter. In this session, we are going to talk about spreadsheet and applications and different features of spreadsheet software. Now let us start with the definition of spreadsheet. So what is a spreadsheet? It is an electronic spreadsheet. It is called electronic spreadsheet. It is an application program or it is an application software, and it is used for performing calculations, and it would be faster and more accurate. So what is a spreadsheet? Spreadsheet is an application software used for calculations and it does the work, or all operations can be done faster and very accurately. That is a definition of spreadsheet software. And ESS, the ESS stands for electronic spreadsheet. So ESS document is called worksheet. So what is a worksheet? The electronic spreadsheet software, the document, the file is called a worksheet, and the several worksheets can be saved together to form a workbook. So what here there are two definitions. One is workbook as well as worksheet. So here this spreadsheet software will be having number of worksheets, and together it is called as a workbook. So a MS Word file is called a workbook. And here the extension name of MS Excel is, that is .xls or XLSX. That is the extension name of a spreadsheet software. And here when you start ESS, that is electronic spreadsheet, a blank worksheet opens. So a blank worksheet opens, and here we find a grid of rows and columns. We say it's a grid of rows and columns, and as soon as you open a blank worksheet, you find a grid lines of rows and columns. It contains the numbers, text, and also to manage, predict, and present information. So this is the application of spreadsheet. And MS Excel and Lotus 123 are example for spreadsheet software. So students, so what is a spreadsheet software? A spreadsheet software is an application software and we mainly use it for calculations. And here it consists of so many worksheets and together form a workbook. And the extension name of spreadsheet software is .xls or XLX. And here when you open a blank worksheet, you find grid lines, and that is a place where we can find or write the information in the form of numbers or text and so on. And here MS Excel and Lotus 123 are the example for spreadsheet software. Now this is the screen, a blank MS Excel screen, or it is a worksheet. So as soon as you open ESS or electronic spreadsheet, so the first screen appear, it is, and this is an example for MS Excel, it is an example for spreadsheet software. And if you look at the screen here, this is again a title bar, and here all these are called as ribbons. And again these are all called command group. And here if you look into that, and here we have different options, and these are all different types of command groups. And again we have a menu. So it is also possible to work with MS Excel through menus. Here we have home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, and so on. So that is one method. Or with the help of this ribbons and a commanding group, it is possible to work with MS Excel software. And this is what I'm talking about, the grid lines. So this, as well as you open that, you can see lines, this is called grid lines, and you can find this number, these are called rows, and here the rows are numbered from 1, and these are called columns. So column starts with alphabet letter A, and in the screen you can make out, see, this is the place where you can see the address of the current cell or the active cell. If you look at this grid line here, this one particular cell which has a dark border, so this is called as, see, this is called as active cell. So this is the place where we can see the address of an active cell. And again, this is the blank, this is called a formula bar, where we can type the formula or we can see the formula what we have written here. So here again, this is the columns numbered from A or named from alphabet A, and here these are all the rows numbered from 1. And here you can see this is called number of 1, 2, 3, this is called number of worksheet. So here by default there will be 3 worksheet, and you can have number of worksheet. So this is a MS Excel screen, a blank ESS document. Now let us see what are all different applications of ESS or spreadsheet application. So it is a best tool for text and calculations involved applications. See, generally we are using spreadsheet software for accounting purpose or to work with numbers. So we are using it mainly for calculations and also possible to work with text data. Next one is the accounting balance sheet generation of the or editing. So this is to generate a balance sheet. We are using MS Excel or spreadsheet software. And another important area where we can use is for statistical application. So in the statistics, we will come across different form of formulas, different types of formula. All those can be implemented through this in spreadsheet software. And we are using in schools and education institution for presentation of the graphs and charts. So it is possible to use graphs and charts in MS Excel. And multiple accounting is involved in the file of budgeting for industry or company or IT firms. See, we are using this for budgeting so that whenever we talk about commerce or budgeting, we can analyze the data. So many activities can be done with the help of spreadsheet software. These are all different applications of spreadsheet software. In the next slide, this is basic concepts of spreadsheet, and here, as we have seen in the first slide, the rows are represented by numbers from 1 to, this is a number. So this is, you can imagine one Excel worksheet, it consists of so many rows, and the columns are represented by alphabetic from A to XFD. See, this is starting from A, this is the last column. So you can imagine how big the worksheet is. And the intersection of rows and column are called a cell. So what is a cell? Now in the first slide, see, this is a cell. This is intersection of rows and column is called a cell. And you can make out the cell has with the grid lines. So this is a cell. Next, each cell has a cell address represented by an alphabet and the number. So every cell has its own address, that is the alphabets and the number. So in the first slide, see, this is, for example, the active cell, this is A, and this is a cell address. This is called the address bar, where we can see the address of the current cell or active cell. So in this one, A, first one is A, it is column name as well as 1 is the row number. So A1, it represents the cell address of this particular active cell. This is cell address. Next, the text is left aligned by default. The numbers are aligned to the right by default. Next, calculations can be calculated. So by default alignment, you know what is alignment. So within the cell, a number can be, by default it is right aligned, and it is the text are left aligned by default. See, these are all the few information about the spreadsheet. Next one is formatting the worksheet. So what is a formatting the worksheet? The formatting the worksheet, it includes or involves change or apply a font. So the cell, I mean all the information either in the form of a text or numbers are entering in a cell. So all the data in the cell, it can be formatted. The meaning of formatting is we can apply font style or font color, pattern, everything, even for borders. And apart from this, cell alignment, as we have seen in the previous slide, cell alignment, the text are aligned left and numbers are aligned right. That is called alignment, and it is to make your to make a worksheet more attractive and easier to read. We can apply formatting. So this is formatting a worksheet. And along with that, it is also possible to have charts and graphs or pictures. And what is the use of charts and graphs in a picture? This is easy for analyzing the data and educator tutorial series. So, I mean, the main purpose of graph and chart is for analyzing the data. See, these are all nothing but the formatting a worksheet. Next, we'll look into the what is the options available in file menu in spreadsheet. So, the file menu, as we have seen in the first slide, see here the file menu. See, this is at the beginning we have file menu here. This is the file menu. Here in file menu we have new. This is a new. Control plus N is a shortcut key. This is to create a new worksheet file. To create a new worksheet file, first one is we have to select this is file menu. Under that you have to select an option new. It's going to create a new worksheet. And open, control plus O, it is to open an existing worksheet. And this is to close option. It closes a single document but not the program. And we know that close and exit are two different options. Close, if you use a close option, if you select it, it's going to close only one particular file. And if you say exit option, it's going to close the entire ESS or MS Excel application. So here next one is save. It is to save your worksheet, and save as option. So save as option is another option where the same file can be duplicated, or we can save the same file by another name. That is the difference between save and save as option. And again we have print is option, that is to take a printout of the MS Excel worksheet. And exit, as I told you, exit is to come out of MS Excel worksheet. See, these are all the options available under file menu. Next one is edit menu. So what is edit menu? In edit menu, it is nothing but for we can see undo editing. What is undo option? Undo option is nothing but is going to cancel the previous action performed. So one is undo. Next one is cut, paste. All these cut and copy. Cut and copy. Here, what is cut and copy? The data present inside a cell or a group of cell or a range of cell. It can be copied or we can cut and we can paste it at the different cell. That is cut, copy, paste. And clear. Clear means it is used to delete the content of a cell or a group of cells. So these are all the options under edit menu. Again we have select all. This is to select all the information of entire worksheet is select all. So once the data has been selected, then we can do different operations like cut, copy, paste and so on. Next one is find, and next one is find and replace. So as we have seen in MS Word, similarly same option is available even in MS Excel or in spreadsheet software, where we can look for a particular number or a particular text and in a cell, and the same can be replaced with some other number or some other text or some other value. That is the find and replace option. Next we see clipboard group. As what you have seen in the MS Excel screen, here everything this is, if you look into the diagram here, See, this is the file option, and here this is called the home, insert, and these are the menu. These are called ribbons. Under this we have group. These are different groups. In this you can see that one is clipboard group and font, alignment, and so on. Now let us see the options available under clipboard group. Under clipboard, generally we have cut, copy, paste options, as we have seen in the previous slide. So it is also possible to work with the with the menu as well as with the this command group. So it is again same thing, cut, copy, paste. It is an option where the information in a cell or a group of cell can be selected and it can be cut, copy or paste at different cell. That is the clipboard group. Under we have these are different options, cut, copy, paste. Next in the C we have font group. So in a font group, look at the font group here. If you observe the font group here, see all these options comes under font group here. So what is the font group? So it allows us to look at the change the we have to select the different font. As we have seen here number of fonts, we can select any one of these, and font size and all this font color and background, everything can be done under font group. See, this is again nothing but formatting a worksheet. Next, alignment group. Now we can see alignment group, and in the alignment group you can see this here. Alignment group, normally we can see by default alignment, left aligned, center and right alignment. So apart from this, see, this is called as horizontal alignment, and you can also find options here for vertical alignment, that is at the top of the cell, middle of the cell or at the bottom of a cell. So all the data or information, for example, you can see here in the my text, this information or data can be aligned in different method as per our requirement. So this is this alignment group. Next we have numbering group. So what is numbering group? And here have different options. So here the numbers what you are going to enter in the cell of a spreadsheet software, it can be formatted. So if I say formatting, number can be formatted, might be in accounting number or in general number. If I say general number, either with the decimal number, without decimal number, all these options are available here. And for accounting and short date, and it is applicable for date and time. These are all the short date and time or with the numbers. So it is also possible to format the numbers as per our requirement. So this is the numbering group. This is useful to format the numbers in the particular cell. Next we have cells group. Another group in this MS Excel screen you can find is cell group, and with the help of cell group we can do these different operations. One is inserting a row and a column, and delete a row and a column, and formatting a row and a column, protect and lock a cell. So you know what is this MS Excel screen? It consists of grid lines and number of rows and number of columns. So what we have seen in the first slide, if you look at the screen here, so in this one there are this is number of rows and number of columns. So under cells group, there is an option for I want to insert a row between 5 and 6, or I want to add one more row here. That is called inserting a row. Or if I say in between, say for example C and D, I want to insert one more new column. I want to include one more new column to this, then I can make it of insert a column. So here with the help of in the cells group, there is an option for us to insert a new row between the existing one and also inserting a column. At the same time, similarly, it is also possible to delete number of rows as well as number of columns through cells group. See, this is the cell group where it allows us to insert a new row or a column or delete a row or a column in a worksheet. Now next slide, editing group. Editing group, already what you have seen this find and replace option, and again as I told you, it is also possible to work with the menu wise or through that is the group command or command group. So find and replace and go to, you know what is find and replace, and go to option. It is with the help of this we can go to a particular cell by entering a proper cell address, that is go to option and select an object, select pin. These are different options under edit group. Then we talk about macro. So it is another important feature of spreadsheet software, that is macro. What is a macro? Macro is a series of instructions which can be issued using a single command. So this option can be included in MS Excel. So here it can be invoked in various different ways from the keyboard or from special icon on the toolbar or through the menu system. So macros can be utilized or it can be invoked through different options, and ideally if we need to know the programming language like Visual Basic to create a useful macro. So what is a macros? Macros is a series of instructions and it can be invoked by different options like keyboard, menu and the special icons, and one must be aware of the Microsoft Visual Basic language to create a useful macros. Next one is formula. Another important feature of MS Excel is formula here. So now in the MS Excel screen, as I told you, this is the address bar or a place where it shows the active cell address, and this is called a formula bar, and there you can see the formula what you have entered here. So according the active cell, so in the active cell it shows the appropriate formula entered in that particular cell. So formula is an expression that operates on values in range of cells. So formula can be applied with different range of cells. If you look at the example here, in this they are given equal to sum equal to sum in the bracket D2 to D5. D2 colon D5 means it is a range of cell. So it is going to add D2 to D5. So it is going to add these range of cell or the values in that particular range. So a formula we can apply it is an expression for applied to a range of cells, and these formulas return a result or a value, and each formula enabled to perform calculations, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So formula in MS Excel is used for performing different types of calculations, maybe for addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and we can also make use of different formulas. That is important feature of MS Excel. Next concept is charts. What are charts? Or we can say it is a graph. So it is a visually appealing. Generally, the charts and or a graph are visually appealing and make it easy for user to see comparisons, pattern and trends in the data. So it is another important features in MS Excel. See, with the help of this, one can analyze the data, and actually by analyzing the data can be done through tables, but it is very easy and it is very appealing to analyze the different types of data through charts. And here we can, in MS Excel, we have different types of charts. One is column chart, bar chart, area chart and so on. So you can see the picture here. So we can have different types of chart in MS Excel. Next concept is library functions. What are library functions? As we know, library functions are inbuilt functions available in MS Excel. So these library functions we can use it for different types of calculation, arithmetic or date and time or financial or logical, text and statistical. So library functions are nothing but inbuilt functions available in MS Excel or spreadsheet software where we can use it for different types of applications. Now let us see the few applications or few library functions. One is sum function, and here what is the use of sum function? It adds a column or a row of numbers or a range of numbers. In the example, equal to sum in the bracket A1 colon D1. So what is the meaning of this? This is the range of cells. So it is going to add up all the values between these two cells, or the range of values. That is the sum function. Similarly, average function, and it is going to give the average value of a column or a range or row of numbers. And similarly, square root function, SQRT function, is going to return the square root of the number. For example, equal to SQRT of A1. So it's going to give the square root of the value at the cell address A1. This is library functions. And next one, we look into that logical functions. What are logical functions? Logical functions, we have AND, if, not, or. So what is AND here? It returns true if all its arguments are true. Look at the example here. So this is an expression if condition, or if and here. So if all the conditions are true, the result is true. That is AND function. Then if specify logical test to perform, as we have seen here. If A1 equals to 1, 9, 8. And again not and or. These are all different logical functions can be used in MS Excel. Next, statistical functions. What are statistical functions? And here average. Average, it returns average of its arguments, or what you have said in the previous slide, average function returns the average of the numbers in that particular range. And similarly, count function, it counts how many numbers are there in the list of arguments. So it only going to count how many items or values are present in that particular range. And again, rank and large and small. Large, it returns the largest value in a data set or in a range of value. So it's going to return the largest number or the value in that particular range. Similarly, small function, it returns the smallest value in that particular range of cells. This is statistical function. Next, another option is basic ESS formulas. Here we have, this is with respect to text function. And as we have seen in the beginning, we are using MS Excel for text and as well as number related application. Now text function, we have concatenate. So and the ampersand operator. So here concatenate equal to A1 and AB, A1 comma space here and B1. So here concatenate is nothing but is going to add the content of the cell B1 to at the end of cell A1, is going to combine these two values at the two different cells. Next, left A1 comma 2. Here will be, suppose if you have given entered Karnataka is the address in a cell. Suppose if you have value KRNA Karnataka. In this example here, if I say left A1 of 2, here suppose this is the cell. This cell address is A1. So A1 of 2 means you to return the in the cell the first two letters from the left, that is KA, is going to result KA. Similarly, left of A1 of 5, it returns first 5 characters from the cell. Similarly, mid, this is A1 10 comma 3, and this is another function to work with text related applications. Next one is another text function called trim function. It will return the same result with no space at the beginning or end of a single space in between. So trim is a function. In the example A1, so the values in the A1 are the content of A1. So the trim function, it removes the extra spaces in between the two words or the extra spaces before and after the word. That is trim function. Next one is length function. It returns number of characters in a string. So all the text based functions. So A1, suppose any value entered as A1 as a text, it returns the number of characters in that particular cell. Next, date function. Another type of function is date function. So we have few date function, day function. It converts the serial number to a day of the month. So this is, for example, this is the day of the date, and it returns the value as this is 23. Similarly, date function, this is, it returns in that format. And now function returns, it returns the serial number of the current date and time. For example, this is the result. And today it returns the serial number of today's date. This is the example. So these are all different date function can be used in MS Excel. Students, so far we have learned about spreadsheet software, and with respect to MS Excel, it is an example for spreadsheet software, and we have learned the applications of spreadsheet software and different features or how to work with spreadsheet software with respect to MS Excel as an example. Now let me continue my discussion in the next session. Thank you so much.